Well, we're Jim and Eva Eckberg, and we live in San Antonio, Texas. And we've lived here now 13 years. And we came here through the military, and we both were in the Air Force. And I was a physical therapist for 30 years for the Air Force. And my husband, Jim, was a pilot for the Air Force and was in for 22 years.
23.
23, I missed it.
We are both retired. We're enjoying retirement, but we do some work at the same time. Eva still puts in 3 days a week doing physical therapy at one of the local rehab centers, and this also permits us the opportunity to travel on our own and to travel and do mission trips. For Eva to go to Haiti on medical mission trips, and also for her to travel to Alaska. I've traveled to Alaska with her, went on a church build in Alaska as well, and under Samaritan's Purse. And this also affords us the opportunity to do local mission work as well. I heard about Wealth Planners first on a radio show. It was a commercial. I don't remember. I was probably driving someplace on a Saturday morning to probably going to Home Depot to pick up something, and I heard about Wealth Planners, and I thought that it sounded pretty interesting to me. We are retirement age, I guess, or approaching retirement age, and I felt like we need to preserve the principle that we have. We've always been savers. We've been investors. We got burned a bit in the market crash, as so many other people did. So we kind of had to start over with that. Not entirely start over, but we felt like we really needed to preserve our principle and be able to sleep comfortably at night. So I thought, well, why not make the phone call? And so that's what we did.
And it's important to us too that what we do with our money is what God has given us the privilege of being in the military, and He's given us the privilege of serving Him, and we feel very responsible for the money that we make, and we want to nurture that and make that nest egg work as much as possible for His glory, and so we want to make sure that we can use every bit of our money to make sure that others are taken care of as well. So.
Not so much. The only I'm concerned about the principal going down on the monies that we have still invested in the market, and we haven't put everything in with the investment vehicles that have been suggested to us through Wealth Planners that we have gotten into. That which we have put in, I've only seen a steady increase and never a decrease. And so that's worked out perfectly. The money that we still have invested in the market, I'm not going to pull out completely, because I think that we can get a bigger bang for the buck. However, there's always the downside and the risk that you have for any monies that you do have invested there. So we're not entirely at that point where we need to pull everything out and to be, I guess it's just something I just want to still dabble in a little bit. How about you?
Well, I think as long as I'm working, he's not so worried about it.
Well, that might be true too. I would say before Wealth Planners, there was always a little bit of a nagging concern that I had, because the principal was always at risk, and with any qualified monies that we had in IRAs, of course, you can lose money, principal's at risk there, but you've got the taxes that you're going to have to worry about. At no point in time, what's the best way to put this? An IRA is sold to everyone with the idea that, okay, we're going to defer the tax now, and we'll just pay that in the future because it'll be less. The tax rates will be lower. Well, look at what we have. We've got Social Security that's going bankrupt. We've got the national debt, which is absolutely insane. And we've got a federal health care system that's going to blow up on us and increasing prices there. So how are they going to pay for all this? Well, you've got all this qualified money that's sitting off in these retirement plans, and the federal government is going to try to find some way to get to it. Higher taxes. You're either going to decrease spending, or you're going to increase taxes. I think increase taxes. So the way these IRAs were sold to us, it may have been fine, 20, 25, 30 years ago, but that's not going to be true. I see this when we come to start taking money out, it's going to be at a higher rate than it would have been when we just paid it off initially. Of course, Roth IRAs were not available back then. It was just a traditional IRA. So I think the best thing is to use non-qualified money and follow the investment vehicles that are suggested by wealth planners. You will have it's tax-free. It's tax-free money that you have, and it's money that you don't have to pull out at age 70 and a half, and it's money that you can pass on to your children or grandchildren, tax-free to them. And when you die, it's the money is going to be, once again, tax-free. There is no estate tax on it. So.
And what a great vehicle to teach your children to get started now, so that they can earn the money and have the years that's needed to really build up the funds that they're going to need.
Yeah, if there's one regret that I have is that I didn't know about wealth planners. There was nothing available, like this, 30 years ago. Had that been available, and I would have taken advantage of it, be home free. I wouldn't have a single financial care in the world had I done this 30 years ago. And so
we've gotten our daughter involved.
We've got our daughter involved, and she's got a couple of plans, and I think that it's absolutely critical for anyone that has children or grandchildren, or even if you don't have kids, if you have a heart, a need for a charity, for a college, some institution that you want to donate money to, if make the world a better place. Look at the mission work that's being done around the world. Look at
so much to be done.
There is so much. Where doctors are working around the world in the poorest of conditions. They all need help, financial resources. So if we can. Anyone can be of help there, and
to be
a gift.
Afforded the opportunity
Yes.
and the gift to serve others and to be of help, I think is any person's greatest goal. And I think this is a real avenue to help anyone with that goal.
Absolutely, yeah. Probably skepticism, I would say, in the first part. It's almost like it sounds too good to be true. I mean, honestly, it does. When we visited with Dave, he gave us 3 different books. He'd say, "Well, read this book," and it's like, okay, well, that's tax-free retirement, and then he gave us another book, and then finally a third book, and he educated us. And
I took good notes.
and Eva took copious notes, and then we would sit and talk, and we became great friends, and we would have a good Q&A with each other, and I felt like I learned a lot, and so the obstacles, my skepticism was allayed.
Dissipated,
Yeah. It was totally dissipated, and I.
It's always a joy to come in here.
Yeah.
We always share so many experiences, and then he shares something new that he learns, and it's just really a great time with Dave every time we meet with him, and we always feel very secured and confident that what we did was the right thing, and that our securities are well taken care of, and we don't have to worry at night what's going on with them.
Exactly.
You're not having to check the stock market every morning and see what's happening.
Yeah. It's like, market plunges. Well, okay, I'm not going below where I am right now. It comes back up. Well, I'm going to make a little bit more. It goes back down. Well, I don't have to worry about that. So I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
We couldn't recommend wealth planners more than.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would say probably exceeded expectations.
I think based on other avenues that we've taken in the past in developing our portfolios, really would lean us to saying, okay, well, in the past this is the kind of revenue we could expect, and this would be just another one of those tools in your toolbox. And what we found out, it was so much more, so much more.
Yeah, I'm looking at pulling more money out of the other areas and putting it back in with Dave, because it's the aggravation and anxiety of the market going up and down, and just having to track it so closely. And we like to travel a lot.
A lot.
I mean, we are gone a lot. And when we're gone overseas, we can't do anything with the markets. I mean, you might be able to log into the computer, but the internet, but the connections are always bad or whatever. And besides which, you're near 12 hours out from what it is back over here. Now you're on the opposite side of the earth. You're trying to follow whatever the market's doing, and you can't place an order because you can't be you're sure that you've got a secure line anyway. So
it's good to know that things are being taken care of.
It's good to know things are taken care of, and you don't have to worry about it at all with Dave. And you don't have to, every time you leave, I don't have to go straight to cash like I do now. I have to go straight to cash. Can't leave anything invested and then come back and then get back invested. The aggravation's not worth it. So, yeah. Well, I would say that just kind of more of the same, in that we will.
I think the
peace of mind.
I think the family security. I think as we get older, it's nice to know that our daughter is taken care of well, that she understands finances well enough to take care of herself, and that as we grow older, and we're starting to see that, life is short. You've got to do as much as you can while you still got the health. And each part of life has its seasons, and the things that you did at 20, you can't do it at 60, as we're finding out. And as we see friends of ours who are 10 and 12 years older than we are, some of the limitations that they have now is kind of disconcerting, realizing that we've got another 10 to 12 years to do some really good heavy-duty things that require a good body. strength and a good mind. And then the concern, of course, is where do we go from there as life starts to take the sunset, and which one's going to be left?
Yeah.
And I think at this time, that's what he worries about, making sure that I'm taken care of.
It is. And I don't worry so much. I'm not worried because I know that what the plans that Dave has put in place here for us through Wealth Planners, I don't have to be concerned about, Eva being taken care of. I know that she will be taken care of. And I don't think that's something people don't want to talk about. It's something that's very difficult to think about and to approach that subject. But what a critical subject it is if you don't make those sorts of plans how to take care of your one and only, of your loved one.
We've lost all of our parents now.
Yeah.
And have gone through probate stuff and all the legalities of closing your parents' life, and it's no fun. It's no fun.
Yeah. This what we have done here has helped streamline.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that there's not more that we can do to make it easier for each other and easier for our daughter. But this is such a good start, and that's more than just a start. We're approaching the what I would say is probably 75% of what needs to be done. We've probably done that, and
so in the meanwhile, we're going cruising.
yeah, we're having fun. We're having fun. You betcha.
Having fun.
If people are, we've shared the books from Wealth Planners, and we've talked to some folks and suggested to them to make the phone call. And I think it's skepticism that keeps people away from doing that. If a product sounds too good to be true, sometimes it is too good to be true, or often it's too good to be true. But this is not the case. We, in our financial experience, and we have invested we've been married for 33 and a half years now, and we started long before that. So we had accumulated some funds, and we were always a little bit pretty conservative with what we would do with our monies, and this sounded like a conservative avenue to follow. It's like, how can you possibly invest, or I don't know if invest is the right word. How can you possibly take this basket full of money and give it to this wealth advisors, and they say that you can never lose this basket full of money, and you can grow, the money can grow, and then at that level you can never lose that basket full of money. That sounds too good to be true, but it's the truth. It really is. I can't recommend it highly enough, and I sure as heck wish that we had done it earlier or had found out about it earlier. And it's only for the fact that heard the radio advertisement here a year and a half ago and called Dave at that time and got started. And it's like, geez, I wish I had heard the advertisement sooner, and I wish I had gotten started sooner. I mean, it really is. It's a no-brainer. Honestly, it's a no-brainer.
I think everybody has at some time in their life invested, gone to a casino and blown a lot of money, you know.
Oh, yeah.
On
Well,
vacation.
you invest there.
Roulette. You know, and so we all know what a little bit of failure is. And so when you hear that something is a great investment, you know, you do tend to do it with a little bit of a skeptical ear. But I think once they really get to understand the program, and we're certainly there to help our friends to see what a great program it is, and we can't recommend it more highly.
We wouldn't be putting our daughter into it. We wouldn't be recommending it to our brothers and sisters and
frankly, we wouldn't be
other
talking
family
to
members.
you if we didn't feel that the program was wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we believe in helping people, and this, I think, is a mission that Dave has chosen to help people, because he has a godly heart, and it makes all the difference in the world. And his attitude, his ability, you can see that he has a heart for people, and this is his mission, and I think that it's important, very important.
And I think too that he's not going to build a portfolio that you cannot sustain. And I think that's the most important thing, especially for a wife, to know that you're being taken care of. When you walk out of this door and you've discussed, you know, what are we going to add here, or what are we going to add there, we're never hearing, oh well, you know, let's just take it one step further. We're always made to feel that what we're doing is right in our comfort zone financially. That's really important.